Alison Rosen. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison Rosen, Alison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone, hi, hello. Welcome to another very exciting episode of Alison Rosen is your new best friend. I'm in my studio with my husband who just took a sip of Gatorade and it looks like something went sideways. Or did everything happen? Are you aware of what you just did?
What are you talking about?
You took a sip and then you
I rubbed my eyes.
No, it was as if you silently roared. You went like, I'm going to do it. We don't have video going, but imagine if we did. You went like this. Like the sound that would go through it would be like, yow! You yowed.
No, I was going to sneeze. I was like trying not to sneeze. Would you rather I sneeze into the mic?
I wasn't taking issue with your yow, your post-Gatorade
I can't fucking
yow.
do anything without you commenting on it.
Well, listen, honey. This is showbiz.
Is it? This
It is
showbiz right here.
We hear you.
Okay, all right.
Wait, what was it? What was the ACN? What from that show?
We're listening.
No, it's not.
Are you talking about Succession?
Yes.
Isn't it like we're
here? Isn't it? Was it we are here for you?
No, it's like we're hearing you, and it's like
the
problem
spying.
was that they actually were listening.
Yeah. Maybe it was we hear you. I refuse to think you are right about this.
I'm probably not, but it wasn't what you said.
But it was something even dumber than what we're saying.
Look it up.
All right.
Let's just take our sweet ass time.
Fine.
Looking this shit up.
You
Where's Tony when you need him?
You put me on the defensive.
Where's Tony when you need him?
He's at his house celebrating his birthday, which
we need
happened a few days
AI
ago.
Tony. What if we turned Tony
Tony, you're
into
out of
AI?
a job.
I mean,
there is a thing. So this is kind of belongs in a segment we'll do later, but a listener named Natalie sent me this thing. So there's Google, what is it called? I don't know. It's like for academic papers. There's a whole section of Google for that. And there's some AI that'll turn your thesis into a podcast. And this guy did a TikTok about it and he showed it. And you would imagine it might just be a voice reading it. It's not. It's like a male voice and a female voice. And they're asking questions in that sort of aggravating...
They turn it into a conversational thing?
But it's that aggravating way. It's the cadence of New York Times The Daily. I'm Michael Barbaro.
Well, that's like the academic sort of
it's
tone.
The NPR tone.
I would like them to do it in a Joe Rogan sort of style.
I bet you have all sorts of options for how to do it.
I don't know if they do. I bet they don't.
Well, you might be right. Anyway, what should I Google? I was just making fun of people who ask for specifics when Googling. Succession. Is it ACN? ACN slogan. I think it was We're Hearing You. Is that what you said it was?
Just find it.
We hear for you.
We hear for you.
I knew there was something that was grammatically wrong. We hear for you.
I know we were talking about rewatching that. We should rewatch it. It's so good.
We started Kevin Can Fuck Himself last night. It's on AMC, right?
It was on AMC.
Oh.
But this is the first.
I think it's on Netflix now.
I didn't even know the show existed till it popped up on Netflix. But there's 2 seasons. I think that's it.
It's with I didn't even know there's a second season. It's with Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek, and the premise is it's like a multicam sitcom comedy. When Kevin, her husband, is on screen, and then the second he leaves, it turns into a single cam drama. It's interesting. We're only on the first episode. I look forward to seeing where it goes.
The concept at first is like, huh?
Yeah.
But when you see the way they execute it, what's cool about it is how I'm always fascinated by point of view in storytelling and in art. And it's a way of changing point of view
stylistically.
Right.
Right,
which is
because
something
when
I've never seen that before in a TV.
Right, because when he's on screen, well, how about never on TV, but
That's why I said not on TV.
but look at a classic like He Said, She Said with Elizabeth Perkins and
Right,
Kevin Bacon
but again,
on television.
like I said, on
Well,
TV.
have you never watched He Said, She Said on TV?
Something made for television,
Yes.
not a movie.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated too by books where, except for that Faulkner one that I think I read in class, but I couldn't really parse.
The Hamlet, The Sound and the Fury. Probably The Sound and the Fury.
Probably The Sound and the Fury.
I think that's.
Does
point of
that
view.
have different people
Yeah,
telling?
and I think one of
more than one of his do that.
Yeah, Faulkner's thick. Although I really love Faulkner.
Like THICC.
It's like hard to get through.
Dense,
It's dense, but it's I think one of the POV characters
Okay.
in Sound of the
So much
Fury
of college.
is isn't he like
Intellectually
handicapped? I don't know what the terminology is anymore, so I won't even say it.
Right.
But you know what I mean. And so it becomes hard to parse.
Disabled. It maybe is intellectually disabled is the word.
Neurodivergent, but it's not. It's more than
No,
neurodivergent. It's like Down
has an
syndrome or
intellectual
something.
disability.
Yeah, there's an intellectual disability, so it becomes hard to. But I really liked the Hamlet when I read that. I felt very proud of myself that I could read Faulkner.
I don't even know what the Hamlet is. That's how much I don't know what the Hamlet is. So anyway, yes, I like when different characters tell the same stuff. You see the same story happen from a different character's point of view. But so anyway, with Kevin Can Fuck Himself, the idea being when he's on screen, his jokes, the way that he's not understanding his wife, the way that he's disappointing her, the way that he's a man-child is all treated like, it's like a sitcom trope. It's
like
funny.
the way it is in his head.
Yes.
It's point of view. So it's
Right.
like it's all, and hers isn't objective.
It's hers, yeah.
Hers is overly
Right, because
depressed.
we know that it's as if she's sort of falling apart, but we don't yet know
What's
what is it.
going on.
Aside from the fact that you and your husband clearly aren't connecting, and he's like a disappointment, but
He's not
obviously
seeing
there's
her.
something
He's not
more.
seeing what's going on with
Right.
her at all. He's just living in this like.
But we don't really know yet what it is either.
Right.
And
Good talk.
that's the show. Kevin Can Fuck Himself. Okay, so lots of stuff to get to. And this feels very small, and yet I need to discuss it because there's something big I need to discuss later if we're going to talk about it. Because it's about a news story, and it's a very disturbing news story.
We're gonna do news. Yay.
We're going to do news. I feel like there's this trend lately, or it's new to me, of places where you order something online and then you go to return it and they're like, you can keep it. Here's your money back.
Mm-hmm.
I had encountered this a few times on Amazon and it was always like something incredibly cheap.
Right.
But of late, it happened to me with skincare and with makeup. And can I say, I fucking love that.
Well, it costs more for them to process the return than it does to just write off the inventory.
Right. And it's not like they're going to resell cosmetics or skincare. However, and I hope I don't get thrown in jail, but if I were to be thrown in jail for something like reusing returned makeup that I myself returned, I would like to think it would be like an Orange is the New Black kind of low security, like a lot of yucks situation, where I think I might thrive, actually. So here's the thing. I didn't like the items that I returned, but I also didn't hate them so much that I might never use them again. So I just got free makeup.
Good for you. Look at you.
It feels like
Is
I got
that the
away
fucking
with
news item? I was all
feels like I
excited
got
about doing news.
Hang on. I'm just saying, I feel like I got away with murder. Because what's to stop?
You got away with getting a free thing. Not really murder. I feel like you think murder is on par with getting free makeup?
Murder is buying Merit Flush Balm in a shade that doesn't work for you. Murder is buying 3 ships under iPads and realizing you don't really like them. By the way, Merit and 3 ships, I have an affiliate code for them. So It's kind of
You have
win-win.
such a broad vocabulary, honey.
It's such a win-win here.
Yes.
But I would never tell someone, go purchase something and then return it. But I would say it's satisfaction guaranteed within whatever, like 30 days or whatever. So if you don't like it, it seems they're not making you send it back. Let's move on.
Let's do it. Let's move on.
What do you want to move on to?
You said you had some news.
Yeah, it's too early to do a disturbing story.
Oh, is it disturbing?
It's super disturbing.
What's some stuff that we've had going on in our life?
Well, you
Yes.
are teaching yourself to cut hair, and I love this new direction for you.
I am all about self-sufficiency these days. The haircut thing, I have this hairstylist who I love, and I've been going to her for, God, probably 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like
Wow.
it's been a long time. But she's like far away. So and making an appointment and getting there is just like,
It's a whole thing.
it's a whole thing.
Especially since you take Elliot to her, and Elliot
just
is
become
a
really hard.
fountain of vomit every time he goes in the car.
So it's like if I have to, often I'll make an appointment a month out because I have to, but then that's a blind. Who knows if I'm going to be free that weekend? Often I'm not, and then I have to cancel. But then getting another appointment is like, and meanwhile my hair just gets so long, and I hate it long, and it's just like,
Long to
anyway.
Daniel is like an inch.
But my hair looks goofy when it gets long.
I remember when you told me that your hair doesn't grow down, it grows out.
It grows out, and the sides in particular, I get like these wings on my side because it flips out.
I like the way everyone looks when they need a haircut is how I like men's hair to look.
I hate it.
Okay.
So I just am like, felt bad about not, because I feel like, I have to go,
It's become
because she's
an
a friend. I
obligation.
care about her, and I want to and she does such a great job. But I'm just like,
You are so...
codependent.
This whole is like, if she were to ever hear this and wonder why you didn't go to her anymore.
She'd be like, please don't go back to me.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
You're freaking huge. You're annoying. You're annoying me.
No, I'm just saying, like, yes, this is a great press release.
Well, anyway, I was like, fuck it. And I just, like, it gets so long on the sides, and I'll put a hat on, and then the sides of my hair flip out from under the hat and
Yeah.
look like
Gene
Bozo the
Shalit.
fucking clown. And so
Or
I just,
Bozo.
but, so I would cut it, and I'm like, I can kind of do this. And, the thing with men's hair, and the way I want it is, it's not like a complicated style. And so I watched some videos. I'm like, this is totally doable.
Because
You can
they know
actually
this about
totally
you.
cut your own hair.
Anything you decide you want to make, from a Halloween costume for a dog to a fireplace to I can barely cut open a package, and I'd rather not have to.
Yeah.
Anything you want, put your mind to that can be done, made with your hands. You watch a video and then you do it. It's incredible.
Yeah, most stuff's easy. That's why.
Yeah.
But also, like, no, I can't do as good a job as she could do because, well, she won't.
Do you love her?
No, I love the way she cuts my hair, but the thing is, like, the sides, she'll actually like cut like with scissors instead of like a lot of. If you go to like Supercuts or some shit, most men's hairstyles, they'll just take the buzzers. I think that's the technical term. And they'll just put a number 3 thing on. They go zip, So you got that, but I'm like, you know what though? For me, I ain't trying to attract nobody anymore.
It's working.
Thank you. I am, in terms of like looking good, I ain't got nobody to look good for.
Thank you.
I ain't turning heads. Even on my best day.
None of us are
on my
at this
best
stage.
day, I'm not turning heads. So I might as well just have a hairstyle that is easy. And so I bought some buzzers, and I'm halfway. My hair gets, I haven't done the top, so my top's like kind of poofy.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I was watching these videos. I'm like, I could probably cut the boys' hair too.
Yeah.
Because that
And
doesn't
I'm
look so
excited
hard.
for you to cut my hair too. It feels dicey.
So we'll see how it
for
goes.
our relationship,
We'll
but,
see how it goes.
yeah.
But like the amount of money that it saves.
Except that every time I walk into the so far, every time I walk into the bathroom, there's like a new addition.
Yeah, well,
You're building your arsenal. I understand.
I had to buy the clippers, the scissors, and this. I had to buy the
did you
buzzer.
just buy new scissors?
They're so cheap.
Really?
I didn't get expensive ones.
Good hair cutting scissors are not supposed to be cheap.
I know. I want to see if I can do this first.
Okay.
I'm not going to be dropping $100 on a fancy scissors if I end up not being able to do it.
How much were they?
Like the whole kit was like $19.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you've got a cape.
Yeah, you have to wear the cape. You got the two kinds of scissors. You got the thinning scissors.
What are the two scissors?
I'm not sure why there are two. There's one that's longer, one that's shorter. There's actually the one that like
texturizing.
Yeah, the texturizer. There's a combs. It might be combs.
There's a combs.
Yeah, there's a combs.
But sometimes people.
There's a brush for your neck to brush.
Sometimes people say, "Oh, do you have a scissor?" Which sounds like talking about a pant.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think
the scissors, each thing is a scissor.
It's a scissor.
And you put them together and they're scissors.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The boys do need a haircut, so I've got it. But I want to make sure I watch these videos. And then you're very particular about how you want their haircut, so it's a real recipe for disaster.
I know anything could happen, and then with my own hair in particular too.
I'm just gonna buzz your hair. You can wear wigs.
Honestly, I feel like long layers on straight hair should be an easy haircut.
I don't know. I'm way more I'm way more nervous to cut your hair than I would be for the boys.
Yes. Well,
I don't like women's hair is a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not.
For long-time listeners will remember the flight of fancy I went on when I decided I was going to cut my own hair. And then I was like, oh no, what if I get so good at it that people want me to cut their hair all the time and I don't have time for that? But then I tried it once and I wasn't good. Daniel is actually, that's where he's going.
Yeah, I might open up like a home barbershop.
Yes. Dan Strands. Ooh.
We could just put a barber's pole outside our front door and people will know to come by.
For bleaching or hair.
I used, there was a moment in my life when I would even like bleach my own hair. Speaking of bleaching.
Really?
Yeah, I had like platinum blonde hair for a while.
But I didn't know you did that yourself.
Yeah, why would I pay someone to do that?
Because it burns your scalp and eyes and it's sort of painful, right?
Well, it was pretty intense, but I managed. Yeah.
Was your hair damaged?
I mean, probably, but who the fuck knows? It was, it was like more of a punky look. I had it like.
How short was this hair?
Shorter than it is now. So I don't know, and I kind of like spike it up or whatever. It was like. It was a different time.
I don't even think I've seen that, Dan.
Yeah, I think the only picture I have is when I was like growing it out, so it was longer.
Uh-oh. I meant to turn the AC down and I turned
No wonder it's so warm in here.
Yeah. I turned the fan up and it got loud. Dan.
Yes.
I'm going to need to see this photo.
Oh, well, I'll see if I can find it. I don't know.
And so are the listeners. We're all going to need to see it.
I don't know. There are not many pictures of me between the ages of 12 and 37. There's a few.
What happened when you turned 37? You got an iPhone?
iPhones came on board. Whenever iPhones came onto the scene, then there started to be a few more pictures of me. But like during the era of, actual cameras where you'd have to develop film. Right. Not too many people felt like it was worth exposing a negative on my mug. I
just found I have a roll of film in a little thing.
Oh, that's exciting.
Should I get it developed?
Yeah, of course.
Probably. I guess.
You know what I have? I have a bunch of like disposable cameras that haven't been developed.
That have pictures on them?
I think so.
Where do we take this? Who does this these days?
You can send them. They can still do it. But like,
send them.
The expense of having,
That's the whole thing I don't want to do with returns or film.
Well, there might be a place nearby that does it. You used to be able to go to Bel Air Camera in Westwood. I don't know if they're still around. But
again, all of this is so much effort.
But like, the reason I haven't is because you just know that it's it's going to cost $30 or something, maybe more.
And there's going to be one semi
a bunch of half
Yes.
exposed images of who knows what, and then
Yeah.
and then a picture of just a bed. You know,
I
or
was going to say
something
the edge
stupid.
of a bed.
Yeah, like nothing good.
Did we all take photos of beds?
There were a lot of pictures of beds. Yeah, lots.
Why?
We loved looking at beds in our photo.
But and I'm envisioning like the edge of a bed, like a bat, like
well, there's always
a
that
photo,
picture where
the
you
bad
accidentally
photo.
you
Yes.
accidentally exposed it, and then
Exactly.
that's what that is.
That's exactly what Daniel. I am more mosquito bite than human at this point.
Right.
I am being eaten alive. I went to the eye doctor the other day.
And he was a mosquito.
Hmm. I thought it was strange, but he's good at what he does.
Listen, what are you going to do?
It was
you know?
Kafka-esque, really. No, there's a lot of waiting at this office. So it's the Retina Vitreous Associates. And remember when you asked, what's retina?
I know that was smart. A smart moment.
You're
My
like,
brain
What's retina?
isn't doing well.
Mine's not doing well. So anyway, excuse
Jesus.
me. I'm allergic to compelling
You need
stories.
one of those buttons.
A cough button?
Yeah.
People love to hear it.
With the clearing of your throat is very loud in my ears. It's like when I yawn.
Well, your loud yawn is afterwards. There's like
But I'm just saying loud and annoying.
a reuptake of the yawn.
You know how it's loud and annoying.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Yes.
I refuse to think mine is.
No, your yawns are fine. Your clearing of your throat. Every time you clear your
You
throat,
can't
we
say
lose,
yawn in front
I
of me.
think we lose like 10 listeners every time you clear your throat.
Tony, if you feel that yawn needed
Not a
some
yawn.
kind, I mean, sorry.
Your yawns are fine. Listen to me.
That
It's your clearing
clearing
throat.
of my throat needed some kind of audio treatment, you go ahead and do that.
Like add a harp sound to it.
Well, the problem is that's not going to make any sense. But other than that, I do love it. So anyway, this is
What's happening now?
I was going to blow my nose. Is that
That's better.
allowed?
That's better.
Okay. Hold, please.
This house,
You know how
when we came back from Japan and it was COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone got COVID.
And then I got some kind of sinus infection
and
after.
then right on the heels of that, now the boys have strep throat.
Yeah.
It's like
It's nonstop.
hell.
And Petey our dog has Giardia, which is an intestinal parasite. It's microscopic, thank God.
It's
Because if
throwing
they were,
up and it's just
yeah.
like, it's enough of this shit. Should we be taking ivermectin? All of us?
We wouldn't have gotten COVID if we had.
You know, people who were taking that a lot now all have like gastro issues.
Yeah. So anyway, you know how old people, all they talk about is their various ailments and symptoms. And you think to yourself, I'm not going to be one of those. I'm not going to talk to someone about my foot for, 40 minutes or whatever. But I'm seeing how it happens because I suspect that I have something called silent reflux, which I think is why I'm having all of this throat clearing and blah, blah, blah. Is this a mosquito right there? Did you get it?
No.
It was a mosquito and you didn't get it. Well, thanks a lot. But and a couple of listeners, I think I mentioned it or posted about it. And a couple of listeners have let me know that they have it and like, here's what they're on for this situation. And I just don't have time in my schedule. I don't have room on my plate for another thing that I'm going to have to figure out and sort out. Like,
it's how the daily pill container gets bigger and bigger as you get older. Like you start out with just the weekly
The
one,
strip,
the
yeah.
daily one that's one strip.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually you work up to that like that
Calendar.
the cheese wheel where it's just
Yeah.
like every hour, you know what I mean? And each one is full.
yeah.
Right.
I can't deal with getting another doctor, another diagnosis, and more medication. Like I'm at max capacity.
It's a lot.
And just, we never got our sound for hormone chat, Tony. I didn't forget.
Was this the thing that we talked about?
I mentioned to him that I feel like we need to drop for hormone chat.
Listen, I'm all about I want to find some like one of those Dr. Feelgoods that'll prescribe anything and start getting prescriptions for all the anti-aging shit. I'm all about it.
So anyway, just real fast. And then I'm moving on to whatever it was that I interrupted to talk about this. My hormone replacement therapy journey has been fraught with periods every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I have endometriosis, so I don't have a friendly period. I have a horrendously
Angry period.
An angry, uncomfortable period. And because I'm actually fine right now with my iron levels. So because I had low iron, the idea of like all this bleeding doesn't thrill me, but I'm actually holding steady. I'm good.
You're bleeding about bleeding.
How do you mean?
Bleat.
Oh,
It's good
I
stuff.
love you.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
They call that mid humor. There's
Is that
low humor, mid humor, and high humor. I've learned through TikTok. That's mid humor, like
Okay.
wordplay. It's the most annoying kind of humor.
What's low humor? Farts?
Yeah, farts and slapstick.
Okay.
It's the most broad. Everybody loves it.
And then what's
Well,
hot?
no, people with a middle sense of humor look down on low humor.
Right.
People with a high sense of humor appreciate low humor and
That's me then.
and look down on mid humor.
I don't look down on it if it's funny.
I appreciate all humors. Actually, I'm not a huge pun fan, even though I've become kind of.
Are you a wordplay
punny.
fan? Because wordplay and
I
puns
find
are different.
wordplay to be amusing, but it's never funny.
Puns are groany. Like puns are dad jokes.
It's
like
never
yours is
right.
now.
It's never funny.
Right.
It's just you might smile at how clever it is. It's like a
Yes.
magic trick. It's
Yes.
like okay,
I see what you did.
yeah, okay, but it's not funny.
Right.
Don't like mistake that for actual humor. But
So anyway, I've been having a miserable time, but I'm on this new patch.
you've dialed it in.
I finally dialed it
point.
in. I finally
figured
did.
it out.
I'm not getting my period every 2 weeks. Like I'm finally in a place where
So why
I
are you
can-
still miserable?
Listen,
Okay.
I can walk along the beach.
Could
I can ride a bike.
you could
I can go horseback riding.
you could
I can fall in love.
instead you just lie in bed.
I can do all. Yeah, but I can
You
do.
could do those
I
things.
can run around in a field with a puppy.
Have you ever run in a field in your
No, but
life?
the point is, I could. That's
No, but I'm wondering if that has ever happened. Has
yeah,
there ever been
unfortunately,
an
I have-
Alison Rosen
yeah.
running through a field?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm sure I have run through fields.
You're sure, but you're not sure.
Well,
You don't remember doing it.
do we consider a football field a field? Because I have run around.
Have you frolicked on a football field?
No, I wouldn't
I'm
call
not
that.
not PE now.
Oh, then no.
I'm talking about like
I don't
it's
do
a
that.
beautiful day. There's dandelions and a golden sunshine.
I
and
have
you're running
allergies.
through a field.
I was a fat kid with hay fever, so no.
Have you ever lumbered through a field?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I've done.
you've done mostly lumbering.
I'll lumber through a field begrudgingly.
Yeah,
By the way,
it's a dream. Yes,
I liked when it was raining and we had to stay inside.
I know.
And our kids like that it's so hot that they don't have to go outside. But I understand because it is 108
Well,
in Burbank.
we're raising indoor kids.
Well, the climate is trying to kill
I'm
us.
not sure if it's genetic or if it's just they're conditioned to be
Okay,
indoors.
but Owen, from the time he was young, in the car, he'd go, "The sun!"
Well, he's sensitive to bright lights.
Yes.
So
anyway, I finally dialed in the HRT. I'm on, well, I don't even know if I want to tell you guys what I'm on because now it's hard to get. And all of a sudden I was finding out from my pharmacy, they can't get it anymore. And it seemed like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to get it anywhere. But then I was actually able to find it at Costco, but they said we're only able to get it from one of our wholesalers, which means it might go away soon. But that's fine. I'm getting all my lady organs taken out anyway. So I'm unable to get, I thought I was going to be unable to get my gender affirming care. And I was real pissed about it. But I'm fine for now. Okay. So anyway, back to my eye appointment.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Everyone's like, what about the eye appointment?
Because I have a hole in my retina. See, I'm one of those people.
Because you have a hole in your retina?
I'm one of those people I'm at the age now where I only talk about ailments.
Wait, you have a hole in your retina?
You knew this.
You have a freckle in your retina.
No, I don't. I have a freckle in one eye, which they're going to have to monitor because there's a slight risk it could turn into melanoma.
Wait, which
someday.
part is the retina?
I don't know. I forget.
I thought the retina was the back of the eyeball, but I'm thinking maybe I'm I'm probably wrong about that. I should know this.
Well, I'll look it up. This is the
You never know when you're going to need to tinker with an eyeball.
Retina Vitreous Associates. So,
do you think I could teach myself surgery?
Oh, I'd love to see you try.
Would you? Okay.
Not on me.
Oh, because I could. How much cheaper would it be if I removed your lady bits?
Well, probably a lot.
Just watch a YouTube. I'll watch a YouTube video.
Yeah.
People do that, by the way.
They do their own.
I don't know about that
hysterectomy.
specifically, but like there are people who teach themselves surgery and then they do it. Yeah.
There's a Reddit called DIY Aesthetics or something for people who do their own Botox and do their own filler, and it's so like, oh my, it seems like such a bad idea, and I think it is.
I think with something like that though, with that. It's a little more doable than an actual surgery.
When they learn how to do surgery, are they doing it on themselves or someone else?
I don't know. I feel it's like the prepper type world.
Oh, yes. Like, that makes sense. Like, I got to know. Like, they start stockpiling antibiotics and stuff.
Yeah, like sewing up a bullet wound or something like that.
Okay, so the retina is a layer of photoreceptor cells and glial cells within the eye that captures incoming photons.
I was right.
And transmits them.
Damn it.
Were you? What did you say?
Doubt myself. Stop making me doubt myself.
Stop?
You stop.
Playing
with Velcro?
Yeah. While you're on mic.
I need a fidget spinner.
Yes, you do.
All right. So anyway, yes, you have a hole in the back of your eyeball and a freckle in the back.
I don't know if it's in the back. I don't know where it is.
Does it affect your vision?
No. So this was discovered. You knew this.
Well,
this was.
You know that I tune out when you talk about medical shit.
You took me to my appointment last year. To find out if it was anything worrisome.
I don't have any memory of it.
Okay. So it has to be monitored every year. But it's most likely it will go to the grave with me. But if it starts creating problems, then there's a little laser procedure that they do.
Great.
But anyway, what I was trying to say this entire time.
Yeah.
So you sit in the waiting room and then they bring you back and they check your vision and then they dilate you and they put you in another brightly lit waiting room with a television.
Why do they do that, though?
I don't know, because last time they kept me in a darkened room while my eyes dilated. And this time, I don't know. But the whole time I was there, just like plain chicken with my vision, like looking at my phone, like I wonder when this will become impossible to do. There was a little mosquito just hovering near me. And there were 2 other people in the waiting room. And I was like, they must think that I am filthy. And I had showered that morning.
Wait. Do people think mosquitoes are attracted to filth?
Well,
because that would mean they're stupid.
The mosquitoes?
No, the person who thinks that.
I'm joking. It's just a little bit of mid-humor.
If it were a fly buzzing around you.
Well, here's the thing. They weren't so close that I think they could make out.
Oh, so they just saw some sort of flying insect.
They saw me trying to shoo away something. Is what they saw.
I see.
They probably thought I was, losing it. What I should have said is, shoo, mosquito, who's attracted to the sweetness of my skin.
That's right.
Shoo, mosquito, who's drawn to the nectar of my hormones.
There you go. You should have said that.
But I didn't. So I just worry they think I'm like Pigpen or something. But it felt very unfair. Like, why me? Why? Listen, if you're
no one's going to sit next to you, though.
If you're a mosquito, but there were like 45 chairs and 3 of us in that room. If you're a mosquito and you're listening, and I know I have some mosquito listeners, spread it around. Don't become obsessed with one person because it makes you look thirsty. It makes it so the person is more likely to kill you. I mean, it's just...
Is it blood type that they're attracted to? Like, what is
your mom said it's estrogen.
Because
I don't know.
I will exercise out in our back patio, and in the evening it's just like fucking so many mosquitoes, and very distracting, very annoying. But I never get bit. Knock on wood.
Really?
So I must be gross to
low
them.
Estrogen. I actually have no idea. I'm just telling you what your mom said.
They're attracted to so they find us through the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. So they're attracted to.
Maybe I'm high carbon dioxide.
So try not to breathe out carbon dioxide, and it'll be harder for them to find you.
Should I put on a mask and rebreathe?
Get one of those.
I'm making fun of people who say that.
No. Get a catalytic converter for your mouth to convert it into something else.
Into what, though?
I don't know, water?
Can we do that? Are we there yet? Turning carbon dioxide into water?
You have a computer in your pocket, honey. Yeah, we can do it. Can I just...
Oh, no, I got to finish my speech to the mosquitoes. You're endangering your own life, and you're coming off pretty desperate when you just hover around one person. So just do like a little zzz around one and then go zzz the other, and then no one will even notice you. The end. What do you want to say?
I hope they get that message.
Well, if they're listening, they will.
We can print it really, really tiny and put it next to all the standing water.
Put it on my leg.
Put it next to the little
thimble full of water that they're breathing in.
Yeah. Little sign. Let's spread it around, mosquitoes.
Right.
We're not even saying don't bite us.
That's what I'm saying. Just
distribute.
less, just fewer bites. Yeah. Equality is what we're about in this country.
I just want to say, like, once again, and people don't maybe don't know this about me, but I'm always ahead of the trends.
Yeah, it's true. Predict bot.
I'm like,
Daniel
I don't try to be.
used to do a bit. This is some mid. Is there something between low and mid humor? Like, and by that I mean like it's low humor, but it's not about farts.
Middling humor. So you would announce something that's going to happen, and then if it would happen, well, on TV shows or movies, I would.
You go predict, but weren't you like PredictBot 3000? You were a newer version.
I am PredictBot 3000, and then I would tell. Think of the fun. The fun it is to live with me. Okay,
these are my favorite things about you.
Oh, great! I'm glad that you married me. No, I just, I will just follow my instincts on certain things and then find that it becomes a trend. And I'm not saying it's because of me necessarily.
Right.
But
you
never know. I mean, it's so early in the year, I was like, I'm feeling weirdly patriotic. And I like unironically patriotic. And I was enjoying the aesthetic, and maybe in a bit of an ironic way.
You're like cosplaying as a right winger,
but not like I like the idea of taking that aesthetic back.
Yeah, like why should? Because right now, when I see a big American flag, I think, uh-oh.
So that I was like, I bought some tank tops with American Eagles on them.
It looks like Uncle Sam threw up on your shirt.
Yeah, and I've got these really patriotic sunglasses, and I've got a ball cap with American flag. I think when I go to pick up,
which is funny because you're saying it's unironic, but it comes off as ironic.
When I wear the ball cap and I go to pick up the boys from school, I think people think I'm MAGA, like
backing away from you.
I don't know.
That's what it means right now.
Well, so at first when I was like getting into that, I was like, that's what I thought, because I wanted to put an American flag in front of our house.
And the only other American flag on our block are MAGA people.
Yeah, because they have a truck that has like decals on it. They had one that said, let's go Brandon. Now they have like a don't tread on me snake. Don't tread on me. Please don't step on me. I'm just a little snake. That's what that says. And then like I think it's one of those flags with the blue stripe, whatever bullshit.
Is that the thin blue line?
Yeah, that's like pro-cop. It's really anti-BLM more than it's pro-cop, in my opinion, but whatever. But I wanted to put an American flag in front of our house because I'm saying, hey, you don't get to own the fucking patriotism. I love this fucking country, that doesn't, and I don't think that saying that you love the country means you love everything that has ever happened, including all the bad stuff. No, I think for me, it's like I love genuinely love a lot of things about this country, and I love what it's about, and I love the aspirational qualities, and I have hope, and I feel like we can do great things. I don't hate it. And I was like, why do I have to fucking, just because I'm on the left, I have to act like, oh yeah, we suck. Fuck that shit. We don't suck. I'm going to put a goddamn American flag, goddammit.
On every inch of your body.
And, my wife, who you may know, was like,
you know what? There's something about her. I like her.
She's like, I don't an American flag. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable.
I didn't say that.
You're like, I'm uncomfortable with patriotic
I
shit.
didn't say that. I said, why is there an American flag in our front yard?
Well, the boys brought home a little one.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, no, I want to put one of those, a house flag up. Not a pole, but just, a fucking thing that jabs into the side of your house like a spear.
Where there's like, I mean, first of all, we'd have to get there's mounting hardware involved.
Easy.
And then there's laws that no one obeys, but like, I think you have to take it down certain times. You have to fold it a certain way.
That's fine.
And right? But isn't there
one
a whole...
of the most moving experiences of my life.
Oh, here we're getting to the flag stuff.
I did not anticipate that this would be so moving. Was when my grandfather, at my grandfather's funeral, my grandfather fought in World War II. He was a fucking American hero. And he got a military funeral. And they get the color guard and they have
I know,
Yes.
I have a sense of it, but what are the color guard?
They're soldiers who walk beside the coffin, and then there's a flag draped over it, and then I don't know in every case. I've only experienced the one. I think sometimes they're pretty. They can do like a salute with the.
Is color
firing the
guard?
guns.
Is it just for funerals?
No, I mean I think when you see like the ROTC or something in a football game, there's color. I think it just means like guarding the flag.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. Maybe they're not called color guard at a funeral. I mean, like I'm not steeped in military culture.
Tradition of color guard says a color guard is also a group of 4 cadets in the Air Force and Space Force ROTC.
There wasn't a Space Force at the time.
The United States and Air Force flags at ceremonies and games. This tradition dates back to the beginning.
So maybe it wasn't called whatever. There were soldiers.
Yeah.
And they at the end of it, they fold the flag, and they're very like
the one that had been on the coffin.
The one that had been on the coffin. So it's just very like solemn and precise. Mm-hmm. And it's like the way they fold it, and there's a whole thing that goes with it, and it's very impressive because these men, in this case, they were men, they just take every movement. Just it's military. And then they presented the flag to my father, who I was sitting next to, and they thanked him.
Aww.
And I lost it. It was, I don't know, the whole thing in that moment. And it was so solemn and it was so quiet. And it was just like, fuck. It's hard to be like cynical about shit like that. And so I was like, I don't know. I was kind of feeling like, fuck that. I'm not, anyway.
And that's why you're a flag hound.
But I was feeling like, yeah, if we put the American flag, are people going to think we're MAGA? That sucks,
Mm-hmm.
But now the Democrats are figuring it out. They're figuring out that they can be patriotic too. And now I'm seeing everybody getting more patriotic and wearing flags. And I'm like, did I
seed that?
Lead this trend in this movement.
So wait, where have you been seeing it?
Well, mostly in the campaign and stuff, but I think that slowly.
Listen, I'm going to say something,
What?
and it's hard for me to do this.
What?
I was wrong about something, and you were right about something.
Jesus Christ.
I was really adamant that Biden should not drop out because I thought that was a bad idea.
Scary.
It wasn't about love of Biden, even though I think he's a good president. It was about, at this point, it feels really dicey to change course. And also, I don't think Kamala can get people excited. And, I found myself saying, and by the way, it feels so sexist that I was doing this, but I'm like, sexist and racist. I'm like, we need like Gavin Newsom or something. We need someone who can just get out there and just be like Joe president, but not Joe Biden president, But lo and behold, Kamala getting the nomination, or whatever the term, whatever the words for how this happened, I think definitely was the right move. I feel like it's becoming the candidate. Yeah. I feel like it's reinvigorated this race. Mm-hmm. As my aunt said, which I agree with, because I just fun fact side story about me. So, I knew my dad's sister when I was young, and then she lives in Boston, and I just like he and she were sort of close. They had like an on and off closeness. They were always very close, but they would go through periods where there's so much dysfunction in that family. But then he was talking about her a lot in the conversation that I had with him, the last conversation that I had with him, actually. So 2 weeks before he died. And he described her. Did I tell you he described her as his better half?
Mm-mm.
Which I thought was really sweet. And I knew that after he died, I wanted to let her know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she and I have been corresponding, and we talked on the phone a couple times, which has been nice. But anyway, so we were talking about this, and she's so full of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to agree. That's how it seems. Like she just seems fiery and competent and full of life. And I guess she's full of flags now too.
I think it's just like remembering that, like, actually, who is the patriotic party right now?
Right.
When you listen to Trump talk and he's shit talking America and he's saying that we're like a nation in decline and the only way towards anything good is to go backwards and shit. And her message is like, no, fuck that. Like we're a great country full of lots of potential and all of the things. Like we have so many strengths. Why are we like letting them get away with being the so-called patriots? I mean, fucking Tucker Carlson's out there promoting this guy who is talking about how Winston Churchill's the real villain of World War II and defending Nazis. Like, excuse me, if you're out there like defending Nazis, in my book, you're not a fucking patriot.
Right.
Okay? Like, I don't know. It's weird. Things are fucking weird. But forgot what the point was.
That Kamala is full of flags.
Oh, Kamala. Oh, but you being wrong and me being right.
Oh, yeah.
That was important. We need to get back to that.
Okay. So anyway, we do need to do.
Oh, no. But we're not. Let's linger on you being wrong.
Oh.
And me being right.
Well, you felt that he needed to drop out, and I didn't.
I will say this. I don't think anybody who was advocating he drop out knew that Kamala would be as good as she was. And a lot of the people who were in your side of things, I think, were doing so because you're just afraid.
Yeah. Which
I think is totally defensible. I was on the other side of it because I was just looking at the polls and listening to focus groups and stuff, and had been sort of wonky about it for months, and just knew that this is just he was going to lose. But I think a lot of people who were like saying, "Oh no, we can't change," now are saying, "Oh no, the people who said that we should change, you were calling for this, this open primary, and you guys, it's like
no, I didn't know that anyone was calling for that."
Right, but that's when you see it online. Anyway, I just want to say, folks, it's okay to admit you were wrong about something. It's okay. Look
You're
at
not
Alison.
making this fun.
Alison,
you are not making this.
Alison
feel
Rosen
good.
is the patron saint of being wrong about things. And look at her; she's still.
I'm still breathing.
Still breathing. Still happy about herself. Secure. No ego.
Thank you for taking this in a gracious direction. Accepting this graciously. So anyway, we do need to do this week on TikTok. Because I have a sting thing.
We do.
Well, I created one.
You did.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
okay,
let's do some news. Now, here's the thing.
Is this news or twat?
This is news.
Okay.
We have 2 news themes, and I want the listeners to let us know which one we should go with in the future. Okay.
Right.
One of them goes like this.
It's the news with Alison. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Breaking news.
Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is this one.
News with Alison.
Okay, so write in, or just let me know wherever. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Threads. You can email the show, ariynbf@gmail.com, or you can call in 323-553-2331. Let me know, do you like one or two? Okay, this is an insane story. It was in the New York Times yesterday. This guy in France who's like 71 years old, for years was drugging his wife and then inviting men to come in and rape her.
About this.
51 men have been arrested out of like 83 that they knew had done this, including, and it's like, and the ages of the offenders. What's the word? What's the opposite of victim?
Yeah, perps.
Yeah, the ages range from like 26 to 80 something. Or
Jesus Christ.
It's not. I don't think it's 80, but it's a huge range.
It's grim.
There was a nurse in there. For some reason, that the whole thing gets me. But the idea that I really have a problem. I think everyone does, but I really have a problem with people who are supposed to be in a position of caring and protecting, turning out to just be like.
Well, so you want to know what I think?
There's more to it, but what?
I'm against this.
I don't know. I don't know. There's nuance. There's nuance to it.
There's no nuance in my mind.
I just feel like
bad.
You need to hear
I feel like it's bad.
Listen, there's fine people on both sides.
Okay, Trump.
So, and she had no idea except that she was having neurological problems. And so her kids, she has 3 kids. Her kids wondered if she had Alzheimer's. But I guess police her daughter wrote a book about it.
God, that's a fucking grim story. God damn it, honey.
So police had been working on it for a couple years. And she only found out when they showed her evidence, I guess.
I think I read that there was some
video, right?
Video and stuff.
But what I read is she'll see the footage for the first time in the courtroom.
No.
And doctors and things, this had never occurred. So there wasn't a lot of detail, but it said that she had sought medical attention for various neurological and physical symptoms or gynecological symptoms over the years, which really makes your mind wander. All these dudes are raping her for years and years and years. What was going on gynecologically? Something.
Ugh. Jesus.
And the doctor was saying that like they need to expand what they consider when they see this kind of stuff. But it's like
French people, am I right?
You know that like when you hear the sound of when you hear hoofbeats, think horse, not zebra, is like I don't know if it's a medical school axiom or if I've only heard it in a medical setting, but
like don't make too big a leap if it's
right. Well, it's also like Occam's razor, right? Which
sure.
I forget what that
Occam's razor is if there's like it's like go with the more I'm not going to articulate this correctly, but it's like go with the more obvious solution if there's two options.
So this is what it says. Suppose an event. Oh my God. Suppose an event has 2 possible explanations. The explanation that requires the fewest assumptions is usually correct.
That's right. It has to do with the assumptions.
Right. So I imagine everyone is kind of going along with that because really, if someone 70-year-old woman comes in with who knows what they were finding, but you're not gonna think, well, probably her husband of 50 years has been crushing up sleeping pills in her food and inviting men from all walks of life to come in and rape her and film it.
Right.
It's so crazy. And here, for some reason,
dark.
this detail got me. He had rules around the behavior of the men, like they couldn't wear cologne and they couldn't smoke. They had to undress in the kitchen and they had to warm their hands under hot water or on the radiator. All these things were designed to keep her asleep the whole time. I don't know why that one is like my mind is just turning that over and over.
Because it's just
it shows how methodical this whole thing was. And it almost seems like a kindness, except it's not. It was ugh, the whole thing. And then, of course, they found like child pornography on the devices
Shocking.
I don't know if it was him or some of the perps.
Look, there's some dark motherfuckers out there. Let me tell you, like, evil.
And she's just like, she's a little old lady at this point.
Yeah.
He said that he started doing it so that he could do things that she was saying no to.
Oh, brother.
And like have her dress in things that she didn't want to wear. What a fucking creep this guy is.
Go to a fucking prostitute, dude. Like,
and by the way,
what the fuck, man?
He's up for like 21 years in jail or something. How is
21
it?
years?
I know.
What the fuck, France?
That's my feeling about it. It should be like
Life.
the dad of the Georgia shooter, like 180 years or something.
Boy, way to really bring down the mood of this show, honey.
And this was in Avignon. It's in some little town in France. And do you know how fucking cute all towns are in
I
France?
don't know, though, if little towns in France aren't quietly miserable places.
Well, doesn't this seem like the plot? How is this real? Was my reaction. Like, how is this real? This feels like, what was that show that I watched that you hated? Broadside. Broadchurch. Broadchurch. It feels like the plot of Broadchurch.
Broadchurch.
Well, it's actually called Broadchurch, but you know.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of.
Is it though?
It really is.
Didn't we have a bunch of calls?
Let's do This Week on TikTok.
This Week on TikTok, also known as twat.
Okay, so a note about that sound. It's a very popular voice on TikTok, but if everyone and their mother feels that it doesn't do this show justice, I am happy to have it re-recorded by Tony or someone else.
Alison, this is Christine from Michigan. I wanted to tell you something interesting that happened in my algorithm. So I just turned 40 a few days ago, and it was like a flip switched, and
Everybody does that.
Does everyone do that?
It's
I thought
so
only I do
common.
that.
It's so
I
common.
thought that was a me thing. I can never remember if it's switch flipped or flip switched.
A switch flipped.
Yes, but I always mess it up, and I thought I was the only one. Like in the same way that I say mirror when I mean window and vice versa. But Christine, you messed it up, and I love you for that.
it's a switch flipped. There we go.
Oh.
And all of my targeted ads on Facebook became spicy romance novels and shapewear, like 100% across the board. It was a wake-up call for me for what 40 really means. So, again, this is Christine from Michigan, and that's my algorithm.
Does TikTok know our birth date?
I think so.
So it probably is like over 40. Here you go. Oh, that's funny.
I know. Okay, we have another call. I'm just seeing if the other calls are about algorithms. No.
Hey, Alison. Hey, probably Daniel. This is Tim calling. How are you guys?
Hey.
That's what I call you. Probably Daniel.
You never know.
It's not for me to define you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Calling because my brother believes that the earth is flat. And he believes this solely for religious reasons. He was born again in his 30s and since then has believed the earth is flat. It's really interesting talking to him about this because they can justify and come up with all sorts of things. Like, we live outside of Boston. So I will say to him, you know, how far away is the sun? And he gives me a number. And I say, you can see it, right? Yes. Okay. And how far away is New York? How come we can't see New York? And he says, oh, well, there's buildings in the way and things like that. And I say, or land and hills. And then I'll say, okay, how about Portugal? Portugal is directly across the Atlantic Ocean from us. Why can't we see that? How come when we look out, because we live on an island, how come when we look out, we can only see so far? And he says, oh, because the water creates optical illusions. That's why you can't see it. But he'll say, but we can see Boston because we're across the water from Boston, about 30 miles away. And I say, well, yeah, we can see the tops of the buildings of Boston, but we can't see the cars on the street. And then he'll come back with, yeah, but that's because the water refracts the light, so you can't see it. It's really actually pretty interesting to discuss how they justify that the Earth is flat. If you get a chance, keep an open mind. It's not going to convince you, but just talk to someone who believes the Earth is flat and see if you can get them to see your point. And it's fascinating actually to see how they come up with the reasons they have for believing that the Bible is actually in fact true. Okay, sorry this was so long. This is Tim. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for calling in, Tim. I don't know that I'm going to be having conversations with flat earthers.
Yeah, I don't think I know anybody to have that conversation with. But like I said in the last episode, I have been watching debate, not as much this week, but like watching debates with flat earthers. The thing that I have found, the couple things I think I may have mentioned, I do believe that most, if not all, flat earthers may be coming from a position of trying to prove the Bible right.
Yeah.
But regardless, what's interesting to me is how, like, you can present them. They can be presented with evidence that just is, like, irrefutable. Like, for example, if it was a flat earth, if we moved south, if two people moving in a straight parallel to each other, they were moving parallel to each other, going south, they would meet. Two lines going south parallel
Eventually
would meet and they do in our world.
Uh-huh.
But if it were a flat earth,
They never would.
They would either not or they would diverge.
Mm-hmm.
But they do meet. So how do you explain that? Like two things.
But do they even believe
two
that?
things on
I mean, that's
parallel-
just physics.
On parallel, like
Axes.
I forget longitude or latitude, but if you go down,
That's what you're showing
if you
is
measure
longitude.
it like if you on the same line south, it's a closer distance
Right.
than it is.
At
They
the
can't.
equator.
They just will deny that being true. And then there have been proofs. There have been people have shown that, like, you know, the things that, like, there was a guy that went up on this mountain and he got these two like jars of water and he had them at the exact same level. So the water can find the level.
Right.
And then they're at the exact same height from sea level or whatever, and put them at a distance so you can line up a straight line. And there is a mountain in the distance that is taller than the mountain he was on, and yet the top of that mountain was lower than that line. So you're creating a straight line, a vector. That's impossible if it's a flat Earth.
Right.
But they'll just deny it. And I think
I think that's too complicated for them.
But I think what's fascinating to me
theoretical.
about it is just the power of this is when humans want to believe something.
Yeah.
You cannot change their mind generally through evidence or through, you want to believe you can. You want to say, like, oh, if I just, I mean, this is the problem in politics. Like, you go, like, if I just show, like, the other side
Right.
this, then it'll change their mind. But that is not how humans
it's not.
create belief systems. It's like the desire to believe the thing is there first, and everything else is like pasted on in order to buttress the thing that they want to believe.
Yeah.
And so understanding that, like, if you want to change someone's mind, you have to change the desire to believe.
Right.
You can't change it through evidence and argument. You have to, like, make them want to believe the other thing, and then they will come to the evidence. Anyway.
Hi, Alison and Danielle. This is Taylor from Wisconsin. Everything is going pretty well out here. I just wanted to call and answer your question about the flat earthers. I went to high school with this gal who was always like, I mean, okay, so for some context, I'm 33. I went to high school with this gal in like the 2005 through 9 range. And she was always like very emo. It was that time when she was really pop punky and whatever. Anyway, fast forward, she graduates, marries a guy, becomes like super duper Christian, like fundamentalist Christian, has 5 kids before the time she's So she had her first at 18. I think she had one per year. So
Oh my
I think she's up to 6 now, but she had 5 kids very quickly. And then I started seeing her post some things about, like, if the earth is round, explain XYZ. Anyway, it turns out, like, she got married, became a fundamentalist Christian, and became a flat earther. So that was really fascinating to watch unfold on Facebook.
Wow.
But anyway, hope you guys are doing great. The weather's beautiful here in Wisconsin. This summer it's been like middle 70s and sunny. We love it.
It's 108 in Burbank.
Anyway, again, Taylor from Wisconsin. Talk to you later.
Thanks for calling in, Taylor. I'm jealous of your weather.
I know. I like Wisconsin.
Do you think there's anyone I know who is a flat earther? Because I saw it was
quietly,
beginning to see some Q stuff.
Do you know anybody from your days in Orange County, anyone who became born again? Because that would probably be someone who.
I don't think they're become born again. I have noticed a swing to the right and like I said, some Q stuff, but I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. I feel like I want there to be one so I can go explore.
Hello, Alison and Daniel. This is Rich from New Jersey. Just driving home from work and listening to the latest episode. And yes, I also enjoy watching debates with flat earthers. And damn it, Daniel, I love the fact that you used one of my favorite words, which is Byzantine. Fuck yeah, brother.
Tony, make fuck yeah, brother a drop.
That is all. Please pet the dog for me. Both dogs. I need both dogs pet. You can do it in tandem. You can do one at a time, whatever you need done. Get them dogs petted. Okay, Richard, New Jersey. Later.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, it's fun. It's like, it's very satisfying to watch a debate where one side is just fucking wrong.
I need to watch some of these.
And not just wrong, convinced they're right, and just digs in and gets really fucking weird about it. It's just brilliant.
I need to watch some of these. Now, quick question, and then we're ending this.
Okay.
When you pet both dogs,
yes,
do you do different things at the same? Like, if you pet both dogs at the same time,
like, do I have the coordination to pat one and scratch the other?
Yes,
I do.
You do?
I can.
I can too.
I don't have like a system. You know what I mean?
Right.
But,
I can too, but I tend to like.
You're not super coordinated.
I could play drums though, but
no, that's the weird thing about you, Alison Rosen.
I know. I've flummoxed people far less flummoxable than you.
Well.
But anyway, but I find that I like to do, like, imagine you're standing in between two cars parked near each other and you're washing them at the same time. You'd kind of do the same thing. You'd do like a windshield wiper. Now I'm doing the windows. Now I'm doing the, with your hands.
Sure.
Not a windshield wiper is absolutely not the gesture I just made.
I know, but if you were scratching under the chin of one of the cars, you could probably pat the head of the other car.
I could, but I like to do like this way. I make sure that I'm comprehensive in my petting. So I do. It's like
this is
head,
good stuff. Hey,
neck, back, tail area. I'm not butthole, but like top of the tail, and then I go under and I scratch under the chest. And yeah, I like to do it together. Sort of like, I bet you don't know this. Mm-hmm. One of the ways I make applying sunscreen to the kids fun is that I do it. Okay, everyone, come over, sunscreen. And then I do them at the exact same time. Oh. So I do their cheeks, like the outer cheeks. Mm-hmm. And then I say, okay, switch. And then I do that, then it switches. And then I have to rub it in one by one. But I try to do simultaneous sunscreen.
It's fun being a parent.
Well, that's not really where I was going with this.
Don't you want to know my twat?
I guess.
This dude popped into my For You, and I'm mesmerized by his videos.
What does he do?
He eats really hot peppers.
Well, so like hot ones?
No, this guy his name is Craving Capsaicin.
Oh, yeah, which is what pepper is called.
And this dude will take like 10 of the hottest peppers that can be grown. And he does different ones every video. It's like, oh, I'm going to mix it, or he'll mix it up and he'll just eat it and toss the stem, and then he'll eat another one, and he'll eat 10 of them. And it's just like, it makes you want to try it, but like...
You die.
Well, what was it the other day? I put some sort of hot sauce. I think it was just Tapatio.
Is he from the Bayou or something?
No. He seems like he's from like Colorado.
Okay.
He's a guy who, like, I think he trained him. So, like, he started with jalapenos and he couldn't eat a jalapeno, and then he worked up. He calls himself a professional pepper eater. You know, like.
Does he wear gloves?
No.
What happens to it? What if he rubs his eye?
He holds the stem, which is fine. But in one video recently, he was eating a Carolina Reaper, and his finger touched. Like, if you bite it, that's when you don't. And then he was like, "Oh, I got to wash my hand." And then he forgot, and he put his finger in his ear because his earwax was melting. Because of course his entire fucking
oh my god, because of the
heat,
yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, now my ear is on fire." But like I put I like something. I like a little spice.
Yeah.
And so I put a little extra Tapatio sauce on something I was eating, and
because you're trying to be this guy.
Well, I was just like, can I handle it? And it was like, oh my god, it was like too much. And that is fucking mild compared to what this guy is ingesting. And I guess I want to know, is his asshole on fire like 24/7?
Right.
Because I
wonder that too.
But I think he eats a bunch of yogurt after he does these
to neutralize it.
But does it totally neutralize it?
These are questions
I am.
Right. Is there something you can take if you know a fiery poop is coming to make it
How
better?
does he fucking do it? Like, he'll be
trick.
and he barely reacts. He'll be chewing it up. He's like, oh yeah, my entire esophagus feels like you're holding a lighter to the back of my esophagus right now, or whatever. And it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Are his eyes watering? And
barely. Like, if I eat spicy Thai food, the top of my head starts to itch and sweat. Like, I can't. But I think he just enjoys that feeling. And so he can tolerate it. And just, I don't know. I mean,
I guess that is a question I have for people who like spicy food, because I genuinely don't like it. What do you like about it?
They have to like the burn.
Do you like the burn? Well, you like it. You like spicy food.
I like spicy to a point. Like, they have this new trend of the spicy chicken places, and spicy chicken sandwich or whatever. And I'll get medium.
But you can't even...
But if I go to Indian food, I will not get medium, because that shit is always way spicier.
But like, you can't even taste the food anymore.
I know. That's why I don't go higher than medium. But I can't.
So for me, medium would make it so I can't taste the food.
No, you couldn't handle that.
You know why? I think I'm a super taster. I just decided.
Yeah, you might be, honey. You know who's a super taster is Elliot. That kid is so sensitive to tastes.
Yeah. Because it's probably hereditary. Let's find out.
They have made medicine right now for kids like candy. That shit tastes like, I tried this Tylenol. They have these Tylenol powder
you
packs
tasted
now.
it?
Yeah, it's like eating Fun Dip, right? It's so sweet. It's just like candy. And Elliot is like, I won't. No. This kid.
Super tasters it is hereditary. You inherit the gene from one or both parents. If a child inherits one copy of the gene, they are a medium taster.
You should get tested.
Let's find out how. Am I a super taster?
Better to be a super taster than a super smeller, because if you're a super smeller, then you have to sniff people's armpits for a living.
You can count the number of taste buds in a 6 millimeter section of your tongue. Super tasters have around 35 to 60 taste buds. I've lost the ability to read.
How do you count your own taste buds? My tongue isn't long enough for me to look at it.
In a 6 millimeter, so that's not very big.
But I can't see it in my tongue.
Average tasters have around 15 to 35, and non-tasters have 15 or fewer. You can also try placing a ring binder reinforcer sticker over your tongue and counting the number of taste buds within the circle. We're going to have to go to a stationery store.
You need to do this.
If the number is more than 30, you are a super taster. I don't even know necessarily always what taste buds look like. You can swab blue food coloring on your tongue and swallow a couple times. Then use a magnifying glass to count the small red circles on your tongue that look like mushroom. Ew.
Nature's gross, man.
Women and racial minorities are more likely to be super tasters, while men and Caucasians are less likely.
I am the opposite of a super taster. My taste buds are dulled. My sense of smell has dulled.
25% of the population are super tasters, so I guess it's not that special. Oh, here, let's see what foods we super tasters are sensitive to. Oh, we're known for disliking bitter foods. We're more sensitive to sweet, salty, and umami. We find spicy food painful. Is there a special dating site for super tasters? No offense.
No, please. I beg you.
Oh, ask me anything. No, sorry. I am a clinically diagnosed super taster. I got to find it. I don't want to diagnose the thing that's like getting in the way of me recording podcasts because it's creating postnasal drip and throat clearing. But I do want to go to a doctor to find out if I'm a super taster. How did he find out? What doctor tells you?
You got to go to one of those new doctors.
Like one that's bullshit?
Yeah.
What kind of new doctor are you talking about? Like one that's not actually an MD?
Yeah. What are the
like a life coach? Oh, like a functional medicine doctor.
Go to a TikTok doctor.
Why don't I go to a chiropractor? Sorry, I'm throwing barbs. A TikTok doc. There is, Mr. Back Scratcher, Dr. Back Crack. Remember Peter Madrigal was talking about that?
Oh,
some guy who cracks backs or something.
That I can't with that shit.
Oh my God, I hate that. And also, you know what I really have a problem with? Videos of pet chiropractors. Like
I was getting
you're adjusting a black lab. That seems like animal abuse.
I can't remember if it was TikTok or YouTube where they were serving up videos of back crackers, but it was like the guy would like stick his finger up your butt.
Oh yes, I saw that. It was like on a deck usually, right?
Yeah, it's like what
Why
the
was he
fuck
doing
is
that?
this shit?
Have I told you? You know this, but I forget about it.
And where do I go to get it?
I periodically, Dr. Finger, I periodically forget about it and then I remember. Mm-hmm. I think my OB, when I gave birth to Elliot, stuck her finger in my butt during the delivery.
Why do you think that?
Because I felt like there was a finger in my butt.
There was a lot going on, though.
Right. Now, it's also possible that the way she was positioning her hand, just like a knuckle, was pushing on my butt. And I remember when I saw her 6 weeks after and another time after.
Maybe you didn't poop, so maybe she was just plugging it up, sparing you the humiliation.
I still think maybe I did. That doesn't make sense, because if so,
I don't know.
That would mean that she was.
Listen, I was watching and I didn't see any digits get dropped on your.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe she's stealthy about it.
You think you would know for sure? But why would she have done it? Is the question.
Maybe it stimulates something to help the baby.
Right. That's what I feel like she would say, like, okay, I'm going to put my finger in your butt now.
I mean, there's lots of reflexes down in that area. Maybe it would like create a spasm that would make
right, but you'd want a warning
or something.
You'd want a warning for that.
Not necessarily.
But it's funny that I did not. What's going on? You just looked out the window.
Oh, I thought I saw something.
I didn't have the guts to ask her.
Well, it's an awkward thing to ask somebody. Did you just put your finger in my butt?
No, not then.
Excuse me.
Later.
Later.
But I mean, I was talking to her about all sorts. It's like a gynecologist visit is awkward by nature. Not awkward, but you're talking about all kinds of things.
Sure.
And yet I couldn't bring myself to say, this might be a weird question, but
has your finger been in my butthole?
Did your finger go in my butthole while I was giving birth to Elliot? Because I could swear it did.
But of course, the only thing that's awkward about it would be if there wasn't a good reason for it. Because if there was a good reason, she'd go, oh, well, that helps do this and this. And that would be awkward. It's the fear that she did, but there was no reason.
No, that it's actually not. Because she doesn't seem that way. Like somebody who would put their finger in your. She doesn't seem like a doctor who should lose their license right away. I'll tell you what it is, and this shows that I'm codependent too. I don't want her to feel like I'm accusing her of something untoward or weird. That's what it is, because I feel like the answer most likely would be no. This is my flat Earth.
Is it?
I can know that the answer is probably no. but I want to believe. I don't know what I want to believe, but anyway, the answer is going to be no, and then it's going to be weird because it's going to be like, why do you ask? And then she's like, is she going to be worried that I'm going to be walking around doing podcasts saying that she put her finger on my butt? It's just awkward.
Yeah. I'm always extremely uncomfortable after someone drops a finger into my beehole.
How many times have you had a finger in your beehole medically?
A few times. Yeah. A few times, and it's always a delight. It's always fun. When I went to the urologist, because I had a prostatitis,
yeah.
That dude had fat
Meaty
fingers. Meaty fingers. It's like, I don't know. I feel like if you're a urologist, they should screen out the meaty finger doctors.
Right. You should have like ET fingers.
Yeah. Like, I don't
Maybe not that long. Yeah.
I don't need chode fingers McGee over here fucking sticking his...
Which finger was it, do you think? Index?
Probably.
Yeah. You should get to choose.
Right. Like, urologists should post just pictures of their hands.
Yeah. Like, I'm feeling pinky today.
Like when you look at choose the doctor sites instead of their face, it's just a picture of a hand. It's like, I want that hand.
Yes.
Which hand do you want up your tush?
Right. On that note, I would like to say thank you to Daniel for coming on and bearing his soul and
why not
making me wonder, should I have told him that he's right? I don't know.
I don't need you to tell me I'm right. We'll just assume it.
And then I do not consent. And then also a reminder, I am on Patreon. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. It is one of the most direct ways to support me and this show. Now, you might be listening and thinking, I don't want to support this show.
Why would you think that, you freak?
I don't know.
Well,
But if you're thinking that, I would ask yourself, do you really feel that way? Or are you just annoyed that we wasted your time with talk of this and that? But really, I think you do, because you're listening and you love it. You love me. Please love me. But anyway, as you might have noticed, there were no ads in this episode. This is premium ad-free content. Do you know how much money people spend to get that? I'm giving it to you for free. So pay me on Patreon, patreon.com/Alison.
We don't even have Russian benefactors. We got nothing.
I am open to Russian influence right now.
God.
You know how part of getting a security clearance is making sure that you're not vulnerable in any way, like you don't owe money or anything? I am highly vulnerable right now.
$100,000 an episode
is in such
Yeah.
That's what they were getting.
Yeah.
Our bank account is so deprived of zeros right now that I am open to manipulation and shady deals. So HMU, hit me up. Also, my Substack though is
Substack.
Alison
taken off.
Is a great writer, and you should enjoy her work. Go enjoy it.
Go enjoy it, especially if you know me from the Corolla Show. I'm talking about stuff that I've never really talked about before. Like in the most recent one, I talk about getting the job offer, and then I talk about, and I wondered whether to talk about this or not, some offhand comments that were made about one of the other candidates who, well, I'm not going to go into more detail than that, but I did go into that without naming names, but you can figure everything out. People have already figured it out. So that is...
You're out there serving tea.
Oh, it's piping hot.
Yeah.
AlisonRosen.substack.
I don't know if it's really that hot.
People are acting like it is. I got 271 new subscribers the first time I posted about this topic. And then each one subsequent has been a lot too. So AlisonRosen.substack.com and patreon.com/AlisonRosen. But get to everything by going to Alison'sLinks.com. Leave us a review. Click 5 stars. Call the hotline 323-553-2331. Leave us a message. Daniel, anything?
I mean, I've been on x.twitter.fuck site. What? I was going to say something else, and it just came out.
I think you look at that
site.
on your incognito window. Yeah.
No, x.com.
You're talking about the former Twitter.
Yeah.
FKA Twitter.
What was it I was trying to say?
I have no idea.
This is what I'm talking about. My brain.
I feel like you just told us where you
Fuck site?
Yeah, your fuck site.
Is there a place called fuck site?
How could there not be?
Of course, I'm sure there is. No, I'm on X more than I'm on Threads because Threads, God damn it, nothing's current on Threads. Like news will break and I'll go to Threads and I'm hearing about something that happened 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I'm back on fucking Elon's hell site. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Hell site, not fuck site. You know, I guess if you sort of enjoy me bullshitting about whatnot.
Does anyone?
Maybe there's some folks out there.
There's a few.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I like hearing from you guys, though.
Hit us up. HUU. Thank you for listening. I love you. You matter.
Bye.
Oh, and happy birthday, Tony. Thank you for listening.
Happy
I
birthday,
love you.
Tonezone.
Belado.
Birthday.
Thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show?